Welcome our viewers on GBN Television, the viewers on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, and of course our listeners on K105 FM. The gang is here, so let's welcome them. Zoe, what's it?
You're talking to right?
Well, who wants that?
Applause you.
That's what.
I'm with Big Junior, right?
What Big Junior? What? Pumpkin. Pumpkin, that was Big Junior. Pumpkin, what you say?
Right? Pumpkin was my father, right? But you know, men does get them. Men does get them from their father. Eh?
Yeah, you get them from.
If you are Livingston Junior, Livingston Senior, you could have Pumpkin Senior.
Pumpkin Junior. but Zoe, between me and you,
I know this man. That man for kite.
Man for kite.
Hey, watch by. You get a high follow. You don't like a high follow. But you think it's no? You want to say that since last year October? You want to say that? He finally get a chance. But so I feel Pumpkin spend our money this week, boy. You see what's going on. You watch around us. A money spend, and a big one too, you know. Hey.
I see it, man. You don't see men.
Yeah, what else do you don't see
men, Papa. Watch men.
The lioness on the rise, boy.
Unmute, Unmute.
You see, unmute.
Short stuff, you're muted.
Yeah. What you're right? Is that the modern man with the modern woman ain't going to spend money. He equips you with the money so that you can spend as you're so fit. So when everybody about Pumpkin, you look as though you spend our money this weekend.
Well,
no, he didn't.
Well, no, you see, you don't understand the context. Right? If we say he spend our money, we don't mean he physically go and buy it, you know. You mean, you know, you collect.
But I thought that was well established eons ago.
Yeah, I mean, we know he does spend our money, but I find I'll extra. Pumpkin, you sell pumpkin this week, or what?
Reece,
Hey?
you have to be very careful with that nice bean you have here, because that is how people get false statement.
Yes.
So what was the false statement? 100% natural?
Hold on. Remember, we get close to Christmas, right?
Yeah.
And you come here with this nice, pretty maid. So next thing you get a win a maid in jail.
Wait a minute, just so man does get false name, you know.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, yeah, some fellas, they false name so solid that you ain't know their real name, you know. All you know them is by the false name, you know.
Of course.
But we need to say good evening to our listeners.
Yes, I was trying to say that.
Yeah, well, I say good evening to the listeners already, so all you go ahead. Go ahead, Pumpkin.
Good evening to all the listeners and all the various mediums. And as usual, I just want to send some flowers to Cafe. Better known his correct name, of course, Jude Mitchell. I mean, this man has been playing Old Match for the last 40 years. And he won 37 of the Old Match competition, 31, consecutive victory since they've been playing for the 40 years. And also with him, he had swallowed Jeffrey Augustine, Guido Marcel, and of course, Sally Francis. Just want to say big up to Cafe, and hope you're having a great night. Tonight, now we're on a real roll. I believe what we're looking at, I think based on our very nature, we just look for a way to associate persons with apart from the mother or father give names, something some other name to identify by. Yeah, and it's either by the skill, the character, some event where they star, or something or the other. But we always associate a name. There's a tendency to give people a name, and I believe that most of the names that people got as false names, they got it either through primary school. Or unfortunately or fortunately, most of the persons that get false names are young boys. A lot of girls grow up with the correct or the Christian given name, as you may say, but it's a lot of boys. So tonight I think we are in a treat. So let us roll, guys. Let us roll.
So short stuff. Talk to us now. Talk to the people now. You're muted still. You're still muted.
Yeah, I have some dogs that decide to just back out the night, so I keep muting. Anyways, what I like about We Culture programming is that it has a format, but it really doesn't have a format that you stick to every Friday. And that makes it less boring. In other words, our viewers cannot expect that every Friday night, Scholar is going to come and say good night, then we're going to have this one, then the next, and then we are going to have this presentation of our topic tonight. Yeah, it's not that official. So sometimes we just bust out talking about a topic without even having respect and manners.
Right.
Without showing any respect and manners. But it's all good, because the truth of it is that this is how we are. That's our culture. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we have to be told, you're all manners, you can't say good night. And sometimes we just flow, like that. We just join the conversation in what would have been like the middle of the conversation had we done what we were supposed to do as expected, maybe. So I like that. I like that a lot. And I just want to say welcome again to another of our We Culture program. We've been toying with this topic for a while now, and we are going to get into it. I expect us to stray sometimes because it's going to get that nice. But yeah, we're here. Everyone, listen up. Start thinking about your neighborhood. Start thinking about your school days, everything, and contribute. We're going to the calls only tonight, right?
Oh, definitely. Well, since we partner Mike Finley had the most false name, let's start, man.
I'm not starting. I have to say me welcome and me good night to them, Mr. Stupid.
Well, go ahead and say welcome and good night.
Last week I was not here, and I understand Reece run she mouth. Reece is here.
I defended you.
That's what Susan tell me. I see what Susan said. Susan tell me run your mouth. And you say I went to a certain birthday party. A certain man was celebrating 3/4 of a century. And I went to a certain birthday party, so I could not come to We Culture. And I want categorically state right here and now that Reece lying.
Just so you could get that false name, just so we can to call you 75,
75.
Yeah.
And me, Mama Layo.
Well, all that.
Mama Layo. But it should be a good one, as Reece said tonight, and it's embedded, in our cultural traditions. I know for a fact, for example, in Shantimel, I cannot pinpoint anyone, and that is male, of the male species, who isn't called by something or the other. And more often than not, their real name is a false name, and then they have another false name that is the false name. So sometimes it might be very, very hard if you go to Shantimel, for example, and you ask for Paul or if you are Livingston or Goddfrey, you ain't go get traction with that at all. Nobody don't know nobody by them kind of thing. So it's rooted, and it's all over throughout Grenada. Really, no one is paying And so it's really cultural. And we're not veering, I think, away from the respect and manners bit at all. Because a lot of it has to do sometimes with lack of respect. People see it as lack of respect, and then there are other connotations and so on. So it should be an interesting old talk. So let's start the thing, and don't start with me.
But how you mean? But you are the most false name.
Before we continue, I want to categorically state that I merely read one of the viewers' comments about that birthday party. So you see how news does just get carried, but what's done?
Whether you read it, whether you blue it, whether you green it, whether you yellow it, you say.
Well, read and say same thing, you know.
Same thing.
read and say same thing, you make no difference. Hey. But scholar man, tell me, you had about 100 false names.
Nah, I'm not 100, but about 99.
About 99. So how come you had? What I want to find out? How come you had so much false name?
Well, I don't know, you know. Up to now, I don't know, you know. And the truth is that I had false name in all kind of different various places, you know.
Depending on where you go, you have a false name for different places.
As a matter of fact, I have false name that one man alone call it me. Nobody else in the world but
Yes.
a man call it me. I had a false name, hopeless man, and one man I just call me sir. And no matter what he say, he call me hopeless man. I don't know what he call me so for. But I know, but that's his name, and I answered it.
So, and how come they don't call you Zoe?
Well, me airs. Zoe means airs in French.
Right, yeah.
Nothing. So they say me airs big, so they call me Zoe. And then they say me head big, so they used to call me Jogger. That's why I little. And then they mix the two together, so they used to call me Jogger. And the truth is that is until the Calypso thing and Scala started to take root, that most of it kind of superseded all the things, and most of them go away. But I still have a lot because I mean, you still have men who are still calling me all kind of funny kind of thing. And yeah, sometimes when somebody call, you know, God Livingston, sometimes you go somewhere and somebody call you some name. And when somebody call you that name, you know that must be somebody from a particular
place. Yes.
From your village or some child that you taught in school.
No, serious.
For you.
And then, anytime I hear Finley, somebody call me Finley, I there anywhere and I hear Finley. Another inspector. Inspector.
So we tell me you're Finley, you know it's inspector that call you.
Calling me there, yeah.
For me, if somebody say Apai, I know that person went to SAS.
Yeah.
Because that's a SAS false name. So people who went to SAS, I know it's our schoolmate.
Usually pumpkin, for me, pumpkin is a Tivoli name.
Is that Tivoli name, yeah?
Another inspector.
But you know, Goddfrey, you know, some people get their names mainly just because of the phenotype, the physical build. Example, in almost every village, I would say, you have a Baku.
Yeah.
There is no tall Baku.
Interestingly, Doc, this morning I was just kind of thinking about the program, and that name came up, and actually I was thinking about Leroy in Ahoma.
Yes, and then Mogsy,
right?
Who were in the Scholar, the dancer in the drummers.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Or if somebody say Tower, you have a few persons called Tower. You have Big Reece, tall men, fatty. They based on persons, you know, physical build. And then you have, you know, some people get named based on where they live or maybe where they're from. So you say Bidge. There's a guy that is a butcher in town, and I don't know his name. Everybody say Bidge. I never hear his name. Years now, just
Vinci is the one too.
Vinci or Trini or Salty.
Definitely.
And then you have names now. Some people have names now based on, some people say based on your race. So you have somebody will say Indian or Beke or Douglas or in that case Blackbird.
Or they might say FBI.
FBI?
Yeah.
I don't know one. Or no blacks. Some may say blacks.
FBI mean that Facebook in there?
But you want?
You can't say that yet.
No. Somebody will call and say what FBI.
You know, Scholar, you know, guys, one of the interesting thing about example like John. That name John is a very interesting name because very few persons they call John, they just go by John. So you know John Law. You know John Grums.
You know,
John Brown.
Doc, hold a second. You know, it's only when I turn big man. I know John. I always thought John was a false name, you know.
But that is correct name.
Yeah, that's his correct name.
Most John go with a name and surname or a description of the parents. So like you have but Goddfrey, you know John Wayne.
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right, and your good friend there, Goddfrey, John Smith.
I didn't know you were living still.
I don't know John Smith. You don't know of John Smith.
I know John Smith.
I got a good friend.
My good friend.
Yes. And then you have John Snell. Yeah. John Silo. And then we say John for Sukaram. John for Kundaram. He was in a home. And then you know John for Betty Wells.
Yeah.
So John has always been a name that usually go with, and I'm sure other persons can call and talk about John something because John is one of those interesting names that always seem to go with something. So again, that is one way of how some people get names.
But you mentioned just now people who tall, you call them tall, but a more common false name for tall people is male bamboo, you know?
Goddfrey, let me just say that before Reece or anybody jump in here, that in naming, in this culture of naming, as Livingston was pointing out, funny enough, it's not as simple as that. And that is what makes the thing culturally rich, you know, because it's not as simple as that.
No.
Because you sometimes, people false name is the opposite of their physical appearance.
Yeah, sometimes.
And
sometimes, yeah.
So, yeah. So, for example, you have pretty girl and thing, but pretty girl don't be girl. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have tall boy, but tall boy is the shortest boy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. I want to be sarcastic.
Sometimes you get the opposite.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of times, go ahead, Livingston.
False name really is about, sometimes you really describe somebody's character or a major event. A lot of the false name that derive came from your behavior, something you've been involved in for a long time, or some major event that took place in your life. I would name some a little bit later. But Scholar, I think also that this false name is really, really ingrained in us. And I don't think it is a surprise that you, as a Calypsonian, you took, where you may say a sobriquet, you took a false name. So your name is Scholar, you are the Beast, you are the Sour Serpent, you are the Wizard. All those names in particular are expected to describe something about your character or what you intend to put on the table. I don't think it's just or something you emulate.
Yeah, but that to me, Livingston, that's when you sort of take it on. But the false name, generally somebody would give you a false name based on a number of things. Sometimes you do stupidness, some dotations you do, and you get a false name, you know.
Yeah, because mind you, sobriquet and false name is
different. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah. But Scholar, I understand that, but I'm also saying that you as a Calypsonian, you describe yourself or you emulate something, so you may choose a name. But somebody example, so somebody might example. We had a guy in T. What do we call him? Like jail again. Jail again. He would go to jail again. People is using that to say, well, that is the kind of person he is.
But let me tell you, but Doc, hold on. It was he actually gave himself that name, you know.
He gave himself that name?
Yeah, let me tell you that, and Scholar is right when he said that this thing is not as simple as everybody who know jail again. He always in some fight, always in some kind of thing. So actually, when he do a wrong thing on them, he used to say jail again. and this thing. That's how he actually got the name, jail again.
And the name stay for him.
And the name stay for him.
Check the time.
You see?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I find the ladies are just like leading tonight, but the man is here. Okay. I agree when you say that, you know, there's a difference between like the sobriquet and the nicknames. But that, to me, that difference only comes about based on the intentions of it. So, for example, you gave yourself that name Scholar, and that was purposeful. That is because of what you, as Livingston said, what is it that you want to bring out about yourself, right? When mothers have children and they call their babies Pinky, it's not that the child doesn't have a name, but it's because the child complexion is that and, you know, lighter, so they call them Pinky. And sometimes that name stay with the children throughout their life. Pinky was never their name. And sometimes it's until they're ready to do common entrance, they realize, well, you know, because sometimes it's carried into the primary school because our communities know us that way. So, yes, to me, there's a difference, but it's based on how it comes about and what's the purpose of it that makes a difference. There are some nicknames that come with taglines. You know, like it doesn't just end there. When you call somebody by a name, you have to say something else. So when as children, when we saw this man in our community called Sporty, it was Sporty, you kill the cat, or Sporty, where the cat? And Sporty would answer with a cat song to frighten you, that kind of way. So some of the nicknames, they do come with taglines. But I wanted to read something to cause maybe a little argument, or maybe just you guys accepting as usual. From Arthur Hostin, he wrote that about 7 years ago, and it said Goyy. That's how we true Guelph people spell Guelph. A lot of all you can't understand Guelph. All you do is just stay there and run all your mouth. You know why? We are different. Guelph have the most colorful nicknames you will find anywhere in the world. Do you know we can gather a group of guys and just so you get a zoo? Here are some name of some fellas in Guelph. Cat, catman, bat, mice, rat, dog, doggy, lion, lizard, beast, guana, mongoose, jaguar, monkey, ocean monkey, of course, scorpion, that's powder pig. You all know that artist. Parrot. I forgot to remind all you, God from Guelph. All you don't know. We have biblical names too. Ground God, Jesus, Satan. All 12 disciples can be found in Guelph. Let's talk about food. If all them fellas sit down the same place, boy, you have food for days. Chicken, banana, figs, chicken bam, pumpkin, pork sauce, flour, dumpling, blogo, fish, goose, plantain, squash head, titiri, guana man, spaghetti, sheep pie, soup, tattoo, duck. We have barayam, and if you want to curry the meat, we have pakakori. We have foods for fire to cook the food. We have wood, for fire to cook the food. For dessert, you can get a bourbon, biscuit, plus cocoa tea, bakes, toffee, and when all the food done cooking everything finished, we're gonna sit down and watch Scandal. All you don't have nothing on us. We bad for years. Can I go back to my hole now? So that was a piece by
Nice.
Very interesting.
That I recalled from years ago. I didn't realize it was 7 years old, but it was just one of those things. And as he rightly said, that zoo real long. Monkey toe, I mean, all kinds of things you can come up with. Body parts. you name it and go up. So let me tell you all what my nickname was. When all they said Baku, I don't know if you all saw me laughing, but yeah, I got Baku because I was always short, still short. And Runt. Anytime I hear somebody say Runt, I know that is my that is my adopted family, the Vivegs, right? Because Brother Neil accepted me as his daughter, and all his daughters are named tall, like we don't say male bamboo, and I short like Baku. So he used to call me the runt of the family. At home.
We go hold on.
Since I was a child, they called me Sister Nice and Miss Nice. And it was not for anything nice. It was because every Saturday and Sunday you had to clean and set a drain and sweep yard and everything that is just you on the outside, you have to clean it. And I used to really have face when that is concerned, so my nickname was Miss Nice. Yeah. So those are my.
So before we comment, let's take our break and we're gonna come back. Stay with us, folks. Don't go anywhere. We still have a lot in store.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
You can now send a gift card to your loved ones locally or internationally thanks to the food fair. Here's how it works. Click the gift card icon or banner. Customize your gift card by choosing from different templates, dollar amount, and personalized messages. You can also upload your personal design. Select Add to Cart and complete transaction. Allow relatives and friends to pick up an item or items at the food fair for the dollar value. Gift card. It's that easy.
And Valley Pharmacy offers both wholesale and retail pharmaceutical and over-the-counter products. We have the most competitive and affordable prices. We are the agents for Vit Plus multivitamin for healthy everyday lifestyle and Sonatrogen powder. Hills and Valley Pharmacy supplies the best quality, name brand clinical products such as Rescue Oil, Bio Oil, Neutrogena, Aveeno, and Clarisil. We offer the most convenient opening hours. Our telephone numbers are 435-6904 or 6903. Remember, at Hills and Valley Pharmacy, your health is our business. We care.
Now open, Hilton Valley Medicare Center, your one-stop for medical supplies, massage therapy, physiotherapy, and an in-house physician. At Hilton Valley, your health is our business.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Looking for that injection of vibes and energy, of course? Well, I've got just that. Hi, my name is Gary, Mr. Smooth, and I'm inviting you to join me on the Hot Morning Show on Hot 98.5, 98.7 FM. Weekdays, Monday to Friday, 6 to 10 in the morning. I've got a healthy dose of your favorite and most infectious hits sampled with information, news, laughter, and all the other ingredients that go into making the hottest morning show on the radio. The Morning Heat. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit us up on WhatsApp, 435-7517. We've got topics, we've got discussions, calls, voice notes, and so much more. But I can't tell you everything. You gotta tune in. The Hot Morning Show on Hot FM 98.5, 98.7 with yours truly, Gary Mr. Smooth. Kaboom!
This is a message from the Ministry of Health. If you or a family member suspect that you may have contracted COVID-19 and are displaying symptoms, please immediately self-isolate at home. This means that you must also avoid all contact with other members of your household. Do not visit hospitals or health centers, as this creates the potential for further spread of the virus, and it puts additional persons at risk when you come into contact with them. Your best course of action is to call the COVID-19 hotline at 458-4787 or 538-4787, or contact your nearest health center or medical station. Once your information has been received, health officials will come to you. Help prevent the spread of COVID-19. This has been a message from the Ministry of Health.
You can now send a gift card to your loved ones locally or internationally thanks to the food fair. Here's how it works. Click the gift card icon or banner. Customize your gift card by choosing from different templates, dollar amount, and personalized messages. You can also upload your personal design. Select Add to Cart and complete transaction. Allow relatives and friends to pick up an item or items at the food fair for the dollar value. Gift card. It's that easy.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11. K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
That's not how you cross the pedestrian crossing.
Really? One day I just woke up and I saw pedestrian crosswalks on the road. No one really showed me how to use them properly.
Well, this is how it's done. You never cross before doing these things. They might save your life. First, when you get to the crosswalk, you stop. You look left, you look right. If there's a vehicle coming, you put your hand out, making eye contact with the driver, indicating that you want to cross. And only when the vehicle comes to a complete stop, you quickly cross to the other side.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact. Wait for pedestrian to cross to the other side, then you happily continue on your journey. This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
Raise it high up the ladder, let we set it on fire. A little more calypso, forget the funk and the disco. A little more limbo, a little more Shango. Climb the greasy pole, and we don't dance round the maypole.
Welcome back, everyone. It's We Culture. We're talking about false names tonight. Reece, let's take some Facebook comments, and I have a few on the WhatsApp platform, and then we would continue the conversation.
Okay, good. So we have Jennifer Chateau saying, Scholar, I agree with you. I find Reece look like away in a manger. Anyways, I'm going to get my robe and my shepherd stick and all that. Ingrid is saying Grenadian have so much false name. They even use them in school. Only when they're ready to travel, they get to know that's not their name. Now, Zavid Seals saying, hey, good night, We Culture. Whoa, nicknames. Yeah, I am known in different places by certain names. In my community, Tough Guy. In school, Bones. In Guav, Mr. Pre. In Jamaica, Michael. In New York, Bossman. Just a few. So we have, well, Seiko, we cannot say this here, but we have Cynthia B is saying, yes, Fatty was not because I was fat. They shortened Fatima. Michelle Bradford is saying, there are people, although when they return to Grenada after living abroad, are offended when you call them by their nickname. Yeah. Cynthia B is also saying, I did not do foolishness. I was born when the statue of Fatima came to Grenada. People who came to visit saw me and said I looked like the statue, and that was it. So that's how Fatima got her name. Maria is saying, well, we have Maria that has a little complaint here. The time change, is confusing her. So she's having, I think it's not just her that's experiencing that, people in the diaspora. And Monica is saying, Goddfrey, when I was about to get married to your uncle JP, I knew what my real name was. That's Monica Mayrose Williams. Yes, so that's it for the Facebook comments.
That's another thing, guys. A lot of people were called by their initials. Well, the JP she mentioned there, that was his initials. And there are a lot of other people, you know them by the initial. So somebody might call Scholar FJ. And things like that.
There you go.
Right.
You have DJ?
Yes. Let me take a couple on the WhatsApp platform. Someone says, wow. She looks like a whale in a manger, eating too much breadfruit and hot. Alright. Someone said I was short and fat, so I was called Quarter Bottle, Boom Boom Capo, Froggy, Boom Boom Frog, and one of the names still remain this day with my close family and friends. I feel it's Boom Boom Capo. Let me see. Someone says my daughter got a false name from two elderly citizens in the community from the day she came from the hospital with her mom, and 23 years later the name is what most people know her by. Well, she didn't say what the name was. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it so far. Oh no, there's one more. Good night, Goddfrey and team. I live in 4 different areas in St. George's and hardly anyone know my real name. I am being called by my false name when I get things from Hubbard's. No one in my area know my name, so I now add it on the delivery note. AKA, when I came from Trinidad, my 5-year-old gave me that name, and I was looking like a queen. But they didn't say what the fool's name was. Well, maybe Queen. Maybe Queen. All right. Yeah. So that's it. That's it for the WhatsApp. Someone says, Apai boy, you don't remember everything. Your former PSI workers in the Met and ATC also know you by that name. So, yeah, for a few people that do me by Apai. Yeah. Right.
I think what we heard there tells you of the intricacies that are involved in this whole naming thing. It's not simple. It's not simple at all. And Reese's, the thing that Reese read out, Guav, you know Guav? Guav is a I believe Guav is a false name. I know the name for Guav is a false name. Because I know something who said Laguiav. What is Laguiav? Laguiav is really Guav.
I know.
I don't know.
I don't know, but in Chantimel we don't say Laguiav. for Guava.
Yeah.
Vancouver, come from Victoria. That's how I know we grew up speaking about Guava. You're going in Laguia. So I don't know if it's a Chantimel thing, but I wouldn't doubt. But the truth is that Guava, why Guava all kind of animal and so on, but you will be surprised at how false names, even how they resonate and how they don't. And when you tie it back to the whole respect and disrespecting, some false names, when people get there, they look at it as disrespect, especially if little children call him big man.
Yeah.
False name.
Yeah.
Then the younger big men, they will take objection to that. I know my wife used to tell me about she mother. Not she mother, she grandmother who used to be a farmer, walk barefoot. And she used to tease her 10 commandments, 10 commandments. And she was so smart that when they tease her, she calling them even before they call her. So she know the crew and go call her, so she call them 10 commandments. Because if she play vex, you know,
the name gets stick.
And the name stay, and then they use that as tease. Because if you get vexed with false name,
they tease you,
that's when you are in trouble, right? But you see, I can tell you of false names, for example. There are false names you don't even understand them. I was telling Goddfrey that he has false name is sentential. Sentential. For instance, my wife said she remember when she was small going to school, they had a man they used to call Mama the Foul Pum Grease. And she read her own in, and she said, Mama the Foul Pum Grease. And then I know a fella, I won't tell you from where, but I knew a fella. His first name was Dracula Skeleton Mess.
Yeah, but when you by the time you call a man like that, the man time gone. That name too long.
You learn it to say it fast. And by the time you think they dropped the Dracula, so he became Skeleton Mess. And by
you know, one of the things, Goddfrey, is that usually there is a story. There is a story behind naming a lot of persons. I remember we had a conversation. I had some friends from Laborie, and they were, one of the friends was explaining and describing some false names that they had in Laborie. I mean, he was very, very vivid. I mean, I cannot repeat some of those names, but I know in Tivoli in particular, there are some persons that get a name and there's a story behind the name. Mm-hmm. So, example, we had one they call, there's a man we used to call Cat on the Gugu. Now, Cat on the Gugu say that the man actually used to climb a Gugu tree to hold Maniku. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, I can't qualify that. But he's a Cat on the Go. There's a next one in Carre. His name was Dandakayo. Now he got his name because he went and hunt. Around 3 of them. They saw him Maniku high up on the Dandakayo tree. But he decided he wanted that Maniku for himself. So he tell him, no, you can't climb that tree, you know, you can't span it, blah, blah, blah. So he encouraged everybody to leave and go. So they went back home. Now he went back to hunt by himself, climbed the Dandakayo tree, trying to grab the Maniku, he fell down. So he had to drag down to go home. So when he reached home, man, he said, well, what's wrong with you? He said, Dandakayo. So from that time, you know, his name became Dandakayo. And the last one, there's a lady they regularly call Tupong. Now, Tupong meant that when she was born, she was so small. Yeah. As far as they concerned, the name stayed with her. So people get named usually by some of the names by story, and there are some names that is extremely well. People use the name for teasing, for harassing, for teasing.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, and some names are just complimentary, but not all names are complimentary.
I mean, my brother Livingston, maybe not a happy, but we used to call him Fall Clothes.
For clothes.
Yeah. And how you get that name? One by at time me come out and bed, and you know, as looking for that, some of you have your clothes, you put in a box and you have it there under your bed, and man will come out and bed and he pull out the clothes, the box they got the clothes, and a fall was in the clothes, and we start calling him for clothes.
Fall clothes is in the obituaries.
Fall clothes, yeah, he don't get them fall clothes.
There's a lot of.
No, they used to call him Pop. Or you probably know that one.
Yeah.
I tell you, making a cook, and the man supposed to need the flour to make the dumpling. By the time the man finished, it was like porridge. So we tell him he make pop, flour pop. So
he did porridge.
And actually, it's supposed to be flour pop, but you drop the flour because pop easy, and that's it.
Yeah, but
we call lead bread.
Lead bread?
Oh.
Yes, and she make and boil it because you know if you know what you cook, the bread come out like lead. When you make the bread, so she got lead bread.
Oh, yes,
when you burn it, you get bullet.
Yeah. And you want to call is cake.
What put ease in the cake?
put ease in the cake. The cake rise until the cake raise the stove going with it.
Scholar, I hear a lady in Sotes. They used to call her lizard gum.
Mr. Maro,
what? Just say I don't know. I don't know. I thought you probably know whether it's true or not.
Taking part in that. Who tell you this?
My some partners of Sotes. I used to work on the airport.
Boy, this was a very good lady, you know. She had she ways, but she did an honorable work. And she used to call and tease her. It was a teasing thing.
Okay.
That's why I don't take part in that because they teased her.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And I would not lie for you. I tease her. I would tease her. But now I've become a man. So I would not take part in that.
Sprangle them, why you tell me that? You know Sprangle? My partner Sprangle on the airport.
If you're calling a lot of them in this calypso one.
Sprangle and sticks on them.
No, but she has died and she has passed along them.
All right. I have one here on the WhatsApp. Someone says in Monjalo we had one man with the following names: Smoke Poke, Green Cap, Fatakan 2, Caribbean Fox, Rabbit Vine, Walkman, A Talking 2, the Child Bond. One buzzer. All. I don't read that again. Smoke Poke, Green Cap, Fatakan 2, Caribbean Fox, Rabbit Vine, Walkman, A Talking 2, the Child Bond.
That last one sounds like a real story behind it.
You could call him out so. You're supposed to call.
Before you go, I just wanted to mention that a lot of times, as we said before, like, you know, people will be living in a neighborhood and the electrician come, Grenlec, whoever come, and they will come with a particular name and nobody in the neighborhood knows. And it's next door, you know.
Yes.
Next door, because nobody knows these names, like who have such a Christian name. We don't know this person that way. And then when you listen to your obituaries, you hear some kind of name there. And I've actually experienced names that just could not be said on the obituary.
Yes.
Well,
some people, if not for the picture, nobody know who they're speaking about.
Let me tell you,
because we don't know this name.
There was a classic one we had here, and the announcer who was reading the obituaries decided she not going to say what she's supposed to say was a nickname. So she read it as whoever, better known as Big Pom. She decided to read it that way. She said she's not reading what they have, but at least close enough. She said better known as Big Pom. Yeah, well, I mean, someone said, good night, you and the team. The place you find the most false name is on a construction site. You never know people right name. Anything you do or say wrong, you get a name.
Yeah,
that is true.
I had a very interesting experience. I spent a short time overseas and then I came back. You know, so I had a little Canadian experience. You know, you call persons by the correct name. Now, I knew this man, but I mean, I never knew his correct name. I knew him by a false name. But now I am embarrassed because it was like around 5 years I haven't seen that man. I don't know, you know, a lot of Grenadians over there, they don't want people call him by the old false name. So I see this man and he asked me, boy, how is my brother? How is your brother Rasto? My brother Rasto, and Rasto are good friends. I say, man, Rasto, good man, he's all right, you know, Rasto doing well. So he said, you forget me? I said, no, I know you. Well, you don't call me? Well, that's why I stopped, because I don't want to call him by the name. He said, my name is Smiley, man. Smiley, you go call me Smiley.
Anyway, let's take the last break. And when we come back, we go to the telephone lines and take some more comments. We have a lot.
We should take some comments before you go to the telephone. And
okay. So we take a break, and when we come back, we'll take some comments. Stay with us, folks. Don't go anywhere.
You can now send a gift card to your loved ones locally or internationally thanks to the food fair. Here's how it works. Click the gift card icon or banner, customize your gift card by choosing from different templates, dollar amount, and personalized messages. You can also upload your personal design. Select add to cart and complete transaction. Allow relatives and friends to pick up an item or items at the food fair for the dollar value. Gift card. It's that easy.
Times are hard, and your vehicle is your investment. Let it work for you. Get a wheel alignment from Premium Auto Services and enjoy greater fuel efficiency, smoother ride, improved steering, reduced repairs, and longer lasting tires. Make that call today, 439-4000, or just visit them on the Calavini Main Road. Don't forget to ask about their 20% special discount and all new tires. Premium Auto Services, your one-star auto repair center.
This is a message from the Ministry of Health. If you or a family member suspect that you may have contracted COVID-19 and are displaying symptoms, please immediately self-isolate at home. This means that you must also avoid all contact with other members of your household. Do not visit hospitals or health centers, as this creates the potential for further spread of the virus, and it puts additional persons at risk when you come into contact with them. Your best course of action is to call the COVID-19 hotline at 458-4787 or 538-4787, or contact your nearest health center or medical station. Once your information has been received, health officials will come to you. Help prevent the spread of COVID-19. This has been a message from the Ministry of Health.
Looking for that injection of vibes and energy, of course? Well, I've got just that. Hi, my name is Gary, Mr. Smooth, and I'm inviting you to join me on the Hot Morning Show on Hot 98.5, 98.7 FM. Weekdays, Monday to Friday, 6 to 10 in the morning. I've got a healthy dose of your favorite and most infectious hits sampled with information, news, laughter, and all the other ingredients that go into making the hottest morning show on the radio, The Morning Heat. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit us up on WhatsApp, 435-7517. We've got topics, we've got got discussions, calls, voice notes, and so much more. But I can't tell you everything. You gotta tune in. The Hot Morning Show on Hot FM 98.5, 98.7 with yours truly, Gary, Mr. Smooth. Kaboom!
No, that's not how you cross the pedestrian crossing.
Really? One day I just woke up and I saw pedestrian crosswalks on the road. No one really showed me how to use them properly.
Well, this is how it's done. You never cross before doing these things. They might save your life. First, when you get to the crosswalk, you stop. You look left, you look right. If there's a vehicle coming, you put your hand out, making eye contact with the driver, indicating that you want to cross. And only when the vehicle comes to a complete stop, you quickly cross to the other side.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact. Wait for pedestrian to cross to the other side, then you happily continue on your journey. This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
Raise it high up the ladder, let we set it on fire. A little more calypso, forget the funk and the disco. A little more limbo, a little more Shango. Find the greasy pole, and we don't dance round the maple.
Okay, welcome back everybody. We Culture is on. We're talking false names. Reece, let's take some comments and then we'll start taking our telephone calls.
That's right. So we have Leon Cummins. It had a shop in Granborough. All the guys that used to go and lime in the shop had animal names. So they called the shop the zoo. Mike Henry, when you go to your village and ask for you by when you go to your village and ask for you by your real name, no one know who you're talking about. Brown Girl John is saying, I remember at SAS, the bus driver, we used to call him Old Go. He used to be very angry. Sekou is saying, Onono with the boat, Onono with the boat from Caracou name was a chippy got a letter. You had to run for your life when you call it though. Brongal is saying, my false name in primary school, I kept it. I use it right now with my surname. So that's someone who accepts their false name. Maria, I do not have a false name, but my family called me by my middle name. The folks in the village where I grew up butchered my name so badly, I was called by about 4 or 5 names. Hannah is saying, it had a guy I went to primary school with. I don't think I ever heard they call him in his right name. Up to this day, I don't even know his name. He still goes by the name Jakala. Doreen is saying, I am enjoying this. I remember there was a young lady. The name we called her all along was not even on her birth certificate. She didn't even know her real name until she was getting ready to travel. Hannah is saying, some people have false name and I can't even spell it. I can't even spell mine myself. Jennifer Chateau is saying, I must say I look forward to this program on Friday nights. It is therapeutic, educational, and fun. You folks have me laughing my belly out at times. Sometimes I laugh so much, I feel people around will think I am crazy. Then we have Tronic Tracker, a man from Bel Air called Chinese Cat. He was bad for that name, but in fact, he did look like a real Chinese. And then we have Ingrid who's saying, only one false name I had, Pol Pot. Pol Pot Greed for Ingrid. Okay, so Pol Pot Greed for Ingrid. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing on Facebook.
I think if you don't go back and read my daughter's comment, I won't hear the end of it. Media has a comment in there. Go back and read it because I won't hear the end of that, please. Because
okay, maybe I missed that.
I think so.
Where is it? And it's on the on the
Facebook, Facebook, yeah.
Media or
she said, okay, let me say it. She says it takes a lot of confidence to accept and respond to some of these false names. People love to give people false names. They say she said if you do anything, for example, if you have one leg, they call you one foot. If your teeth big, they call you Bugs Bunny.
Right.
People not easy. All right. So that was the one. That was the one. I think you.
For the YouTube now, quickly, we have Peter Adams. They call me Bad Money as a child because of my behavior, and I am in my 60s, and people still call me by that name. And Jamie saying one of my nickname was Long Socks. Laughing out loud because I wore long socks at primary school, and that stayed with me for a long time. Yeah, so.
Right. On the WhatsApp platform, someone says a man in our village resembled his dog, so we called him Rover. Rover is a dog name. Someone says Budbick was a name in Bolio school children called a man from Willis. Boy, when you say Budbick, that man used to stone us. You should see school children run. Goddfrey, I honestly thought Budbick was the man real name. Let's see what else. Right, the person who told us about smoked pork and green cap and fatakan, they had another name, Wakam. So after the child born, then they include Wakam. So that's another name. Someone says this is what our fourth grandparents left for us: the potato man, the banana man, the barbecue man, and the security man, and the orange man. Right, someone is asking, no, when I was a little boy, my mother was cooking pea soup, and I put a puppy on top the pot cover, and when it tried to jump off, it fell inside the pot. From that time, my name was Cooker Dog, and the older folks in Maran would remember that. So
I'm just trying to kill that visual.
The man say his name was Cooker Dog. Why would you want to put a puppy in the pot cover? I don't get it. Why did he? Someone asked, does anyone know why the name William is normally nicknamed Bill? I don't know. I know
why people think, man.
Yeah, I find so. Because I know somebody named Robert, they'll call you Bob.
James is Jim. And James is Jim.
James is Jim, yeah.
And Robert is Bob.
Yeah.
I think so. That's how we culture. That's how we culture.
Godfrey, you know a guy in Tivoli we used to call the Boo Boo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that one is a really.
That sounds like the Jello song.
Yeah, the song the Boo Boo.
Yeah, but it's like that. It's really called like that. And there's a name.
Hold on. Recently, there has been a generic false name for all security.
Secure.
Yeah.
Secure.
Yeah.
False name. That is a recent one.
He was mentioning his brother, and his brother's name is actually Andrew, but most people say Andy.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of Andy people say Gandhi.
Yeah, well, and you just call me Goddfrey.
When there is an Andy, people just
Goddfrey.
I just got me Goddfrey.
Of course. We had some callers.
Yes, right. It's about time for us to go to the telephone. The number is 435-2041. We Culture, good evening.
Yeah, good night, Godfrey.
Good evening.
You have a night with the same topic with Wakamle. That is true. That man is making about two of you. And you see Mr. Rabbit. Well, he when he's supposed to go in India, we tie a piece of rope about a foot height. Wakam, we bottle right on the back. And the man took the man pretty going on and his knee and his hand, and he crawled it on that piece of rope. Go here. Well, we'll sell one thing though. Is over here and our old partner. Well, they call one what was his name? Edward. Edward now he had a cocky eye. So they used to call him loose eye. So Wakam, let's say like if I talking to you and Wakam not talking to you, if me and you talk now Wakam passing, I have to stop it because Wakam felt in stone. Yeah, and then you had guys for why we make a joke and we say smoke pork. Guy found that what's about that, you know? Man at the run, smoke pork, man. When we take a Tony nickname, what did I do? To be honest, let me tell you how the whole nickname coming. This man was a man he wanted to talk to nobody Mondial. So we sit down at a youth man and think, when he passed, Mr. Bob, we had to plan a name for a man. So a man said, okay. I think he never say, boy, we had to call a man Wakam. No. So we say, okay. We start to choose some name for him. Say, smoke pork, Wakam. Well, this child born. He's very bad. But we have to run. Speed. I want to say more. I want to take more of the program because I hold his child here about that man.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Stupidest man, Monjalu. Wakam.
All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot indeed. Yes. Yes, indeed.
Man with the lot of name he's talking about?
Yeah. Smoke pork. Rabbit vine. all them kind of thing. All right. 435-2041. Let's go back to the telephone. Oui Culture, good evening. Hello.
Goddfrey, good night.
Good night.
And good night to the rest of the crew. It's a long time I haven't gotten you all, but tonight I thank God that I got you all. No, Goddfrey, what I'm saying is nickname good, but nickname is not good. Because sometimes when there is an incident and you go to the police asking you what is the name and the surname of the person. And if you can't get them, you lose your case because you can't say the man is dog and sell and the dog name is that. You have to get the right name and the correct name of the person. So nickname is good, but nickname is not good. My parents, my mother, never want her children has no nickname, and you can't make a mistake and call children any nickname because she'll wreak havoc in the person or person's tail. So it's good, but it's not good. And I don't understand. There is a lot of nicknames that people up to this day is still offended over it. Because of the fact now they're getting big and people still calling them this kind of name. I remember my daughter. She heard they used to call a man by a certain name, and she thought that was the man's correct name. Although she get big, she called the man Mr. Bob Steele. Mr. Bob Steele. So one day she said, Mommy, I thought that was the man's name, but Mr. Bobsy wasn't his name. He had a correct name. So you see, we have to be very, very careful when coming to nicknames.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you very much. That's a point, yeah. Some people their nicknames stick so much that children come now because they don't know they put Mr. to it, you know. Yeah, they call you. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's go back to the telephone. Oui Culture. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
She's as though Manjalo is synonymous with nicknames. There was this gentleman who took care of the cemetery. They call him Mr. Boboy, but his nickname was Bang. I remember a time, belated Trevor tweets. We were very small, but Trevor was elder than myself. Came home and his hand was filled with blood. So Trevor he asking Trevor what happened. Trevor went to buy a Coca-Cola in the shop. He said, he see Bang. And Bang had a funny kind of face. He used to make Trevor only fall down with the Coca-Cola. Bang. So funny, but Bang was his name. It's a boy.
All right, thank you, caller. Thank you very much indeed. 435-2041. That's the number you can call, and of course you can add your little 2 pence. We culture. Good evening.
Good evening, Goddfrey.
Good evening.
And how are you?
Very good.
Okay. About neat name. There was a program from Trinidad with Auntie K and Uncle Bob. There was 2 children born at my home. One was named Bob and the other one was named Auntie K. That's by the grandmother. Up to this day, Auntie K is reigning, Bob is reigning. People don't know the right name if you don't say what is their name. Nickname is good in a way, but nickname is bad.
All right, thank you, caller. Thank you very much.
Auntie K and Uncle Bob.
Auntie K and Uncle Bob. Let's go back to the telephone. We culture. Good evening. Hello.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening, caller. Hello.
Yes, good night, sir.
Yes, good evening. Go ahead.
Yeah, I enjoyed the program, man.
All right.
Yeah, first time I listened to the program, but I enjoyed the program.
Well, are we happy for that?
Yeah. But I'm not looking for nobody, but I just want to say congratulations on what they're doing. Mr. Finley, good night. Yeah, you know.
What is your nickname?
Well, they used to call me Mudmas.
Mudmas?
Yeah.
Mudmas? Oh, Lord.
Yeah,
I don't think that one means that the face isn't muddy.
No. Yeah, time we was organizing for Juve morning. And them fellas who said, whatever, I say I play with mud. So from that, they start calling me Mudmas.
All right. Simple as that.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. All the best. Mudmas.
Goddfrey, a lot of Calypsonians, that was talking about Calypso and lubricating ourselves and whatnot. But a lot of Calypsonians, even though you have your sobriquet, from year to year, people call you all kind of different things based on song you're singing.
Yes.
Happening all the time.
Yes. Of course.
Yes.
And sometimes according to the song, the name stay for you. I know, for example, you had a Calypsonian that he sing a song, Bam Bam Swing.
Yeah. But he used to live in Tivoli. He lived in Tivoli for a long time, yeah.
Bam Bam Swing stay for him. That's what he was calling Bam Bam.
What was he? What did he have a sobriquet?
I don't remember, but I don't remember what.
I don't know about Bam Bam Swing.
And after they dropped the Bam Bam, so he was just Swing. So when we passed, because he used to live close to my mom there, and we just call him Swing.
Yeah. So you get that all the time. I mean, there was one name at the hit. And he didn't have to do with no song or sing, you know. The other year I come at 8 in a Mardi Gras.
Why you sing that yet? Who saved you, Randy?
Why you disturb me, boy? I can't remember.
But you have to be Randy. The among the man Randy saved already.
Even if Randy had saved me. If Randy saved me, they thief Randy that night. That night you want to go. Yeah, I didn't do it. But I had some problems. Boy, and from according to them fellas, on the whole western corridor, anytime I pass it, man, ball me, big it. This day, yeah, some people still just call me big it. Up to this day, they never know.
No, let me tell you. Beast told me personally that he had to give Randy a money, you know. And one of these days he had to give Randy a money. He said, Randy said, Beast tell me that. No, be Jude.
No, but
don't take it in that.
It happens sometimes. The first year, and that is very realistic about we will come back. The first year I take part in Soca Monarch was in 1994.
I will save you.
Soca Monarch don't come. But who you believe was saved me? Super Terry. A big Super Terry by 1 pint, you know.
Anyway, Reece, let's see if we have what we have some comments on Facebook again. Let's take a couple.
Right. Yeah, so we have just scroll up a little bit. Okay, so we have Medea is saying in primary school I was the tallest kid. So they called me Longley. I used to get so mad. Yeah, and that Longley came from Chicago Bulls, right?
Yeah, Longley was a great player.
Yes. Cynthia is saying, so a whole pot of soup gone to the dogs. That's with the comment to that guy who put a dog on top of the pot cover. I mean, that's just cruel. Medea is also saying, can everyone on the panel please share what is your false name, past and present? Well, I shared mine already.
I think we all did.
Yeah, we all did. Medea is still 8. Hannah is saying Reece might call it out. I don't know what that comment is about, but Hannah Plenty is saying my present is Ras and Princess. Mike is saying that is a black thing, every black nation or even the USA. I'm not sure what that comment is about, but Yulin is saying, well, I looked at it.
The false name.
The person saying the false name is a black thing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Actually, it's highly possible, you know.
I don't know if the American blacks have so much of a false name. I'm not so sure about that.
Well, we probably don't know about it. It could depend a lot on their background, you know. Yeah, maybe which islands they their family came from, kind of thing. Because Trinidad, for example, there are a lot of Trinidad full of false names, you know.
I think Trinidad is so close to us that I think it's the same thing that happens.
Yeah.
Godfrey, I want to make a comment. Yeah? No, I believe that this whole false name thing. I tend to agree that black people to a large extent that has this thing. Maybe white people have some false name and so on, but I think black people is where it's ingrained, because if you think about it carefully, we learned this thing from since slavery, because all of us name is false name.
Yes. we are the correct name.
False name we have.
Well, except Doc. Doc have a good name. Doc, what is your full name?
My Kruma.
Kruma what?
It is there right on the screen. It's Kruma, isn't it?
Yeah, but the rest of us.
But Kruma what? Kruma what?
Well, the Nelson is false. Livingston and Nelson are false name.
But Kruma what?
I don't know. I need to find out one. I need to get one.
It's only one. So you have one name?
I have one good name.
Kruma will be cool. Yolo.
Alright. We need to go back to the telephone. 435-2041. That's the number. Just before, there is a comment here on the WhatsApp which says, I saw a man on the TV obituaries and I had to laugh my belly full because the name the man Hungry Mouth. And I never see a man name will suit him so, because his mouth look like he well hungry.
People cry. People laughing. Oh my.
Someone said they used to call me Sock Finger, Red Nighter, and no one called me by my right name. So that's what another caller said. Let's go back to the telephone. I think we have a caller. We Culture, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, caller.
Brother Goddfrey.
Yes, sir.
The question is, during your life stages, right? You might acquire nicknames, because when I was small, they used to call me Bumping. When I enter secondary school, they call him a diesel and pudding pum.
Diesel and what?
The greatest and 45. Right? The gentleman who called concerning mud mass. You feel that's the reason why they call him mud mass? I feel it's ugliness, you know. Thank you.
Oh boy. Let's go back to the telephone. We Culture, good evening.
Goddfrey.
Yes.
I really enjoyed the program and I have a lot of real nice names for all you. So fasten your seatbelt. Broco, Screwjuk, Hop and Drop, Breakdance, Monkey Man, Sexa Boy, Walkhouse, Red Nose, Fred Joy, Dunhead, Rolling Pin, High Low, Short Leg, Money Satan, Bullerman, Pyole, Bratsy, Lasher, Dunhead, Pepper, Chicken Man, Yellow Man, Reds and John O, Scorpy, Toro, Baba, and also on schools, Mother Rose, that's St. Louis RC, Heinzie, that is thing, and the model school, the one in St. Paul's. So I've just thought of sharing all these. I really enjoy the program, and I'm saying to you, I must share these unusual names with you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed, caller.
So, Goddfrey, when the caller just said that even school has false name?
Yeah, well.
Even school.
Yeah.
Right.
That was a good list. That was a good list that put together.
Yes. Let's go back to the telephone. We Culture, good evening.
Good night, me now.
Hey, what?
Can I not give you the message, huh?
Me? Now you give me a message?
Okay, you give after done.
Right.
Now, my false name come after a little short lady. They used to call her Mary Google Grap. People just call me Google. They used to call me Google Grap when I'm growing up, because the lady is short, and I the short like the lady, and the lady hear the hard in she hear, and me hear me head just so hard, especially when I come out in the river hole. Me hair hard, me foot white. You understand? So people used to call me. You see how we shot as Mary Google Grap, and my name stay Mary Google Grap. You understand? And we had all kind of name in pride. They used to call me more than Mary Zoon. You go down buy Mary Zoon bread. I have a cousin at the hill, used to wear stepfather boots. They call him power boots. So, I mean, I just enjoy me false name, you know. And you have people that just get vexed when people call them false name, but I don't friend false name because I love to call people false name. I have some of my children who are false name. My son name is Sky, that was called him Black Boy since he born in calling him Black Boy. And everybody know him as Black Boy. Our next one dog in the shop there, his name is Kimo, they just call him Mord. Everybody know him as Mord. You understand? So I don't have a problem with false name. I just call all kind of all my grandchildren false name. Who name is Kyle, I call them Kylo. Who name is Jade, I call them Jado. You understand? I like I put in a O in there, all my grandchildren name. And can I give you a message to make you Goddfrey? Make your message. Yes.
Okay. All the best, love. Right. Man, you have a message on me and give me?
Why what Susan tell you?
Yes.
Susan say you say I go by dark and enjoy birthday. I give the message. Susan will be
Sorry to do when Lion Susan, but you don't give me a message.
Susan will give me an next message. You know, I can't remember about that. Yeah, next message. What it was by.
Anyway, let's go back to the telephone. We Culture, good evening.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Okay, the scholar.
Hey.
Super P. What is Super? All the things Super P in real name Super P. That man used to be together with us in Victoria, and he talking so much.
Yeah,
so
Super P.
Yeah, Parrot. Super P. Alright.
Okay. I never guess that one. never guess that one.
Super P weather. Yeah.
That is me talking about Juke that exit?
Took that next day, Papilla pasta, no?
That's what I hear. That's what I hear. Let's go back to the phone. Yeah.
Wow.
We Culture, good evening. Hello.
Drop out.
Yes, good night.
Good night. I know of a gentleman.
We have a caller again.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, caller.
I know of a gentleman who got his false name after saying the alphabet. You say A for apple, B for bat, C for cat. When he reached to the P and the little pot hanging out with the handle, he say P for skillet.
Thank you, caller.
I ain't get that one.
No, she said he got his false name to the alphabet. So he had all the letters correct, and when he got to P, he said P for skillet.
It's a part with you, right?
Yeah, all right. Let's go back. We Culture, good evening. Hello. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Reece, I nearly fell off the chair when they said, what do they call you?
Baku?
No, not Baku. Layo what? Malayo? But I remember from Canada, there was this company called Color Your World, so it's like, you are Color Your World. When I was growing up, our big brother, we bigger boys, they get to go out and lime. So they used to go around lime at the tailor shop. And there was this guy, families usually have the name. So the one who really thought was the leader, my brother used to say, that is the principal. But at the same time, you used to have these boats going down to Trinidad. One was principal. So at their home, so this guy, not of the family, he was home. So somebody look out and they say, the principal, so meaning the guy from the shop, the principal going down, boy. So the guy thinking it's the boat, he say, where is it?
All right. Scholar, they say there's a man in Sotes who kick a pig and he toe bend. So they call him Kick Pig and Toe Bend. You know that fella? You don't kick pig? Yeah, don't kick pig. That was somebody say. They say man kick a pig and he toe bend.
Pig and toe bend?
Yeah, so that you get them two names, kick pig and toe bend.
Yeah. Oh, two different names?
Yeah, two different names, yeah.
I thought that whole long name, Pig and toe bend.
I find the whole long one.
I is one long name.
I thought that whole long name.
Let's go back to the telephone. We Culture, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, go ahead, caller.
Yes, man, I enjoy the program a lot, man. But what I have to say is that the people in Guam have the most false names. When you go and you ask for a name, they tell you another false name that they know him as, and another person go and tell you another false name. So that one man have about 10 false names. So you don't know which one to answer. Every name you ask for, they tell you another false name. Every time somebody calls, they tell you another false name for the same man.
Okay, thank you, caller. You see that's true?
Sometimes you go and ask for a man and a man tell you, you don't know why is he next to him? Why is he next to him?
Or they ask him, how they ask call him? Let's go back to the telephone. We Culture, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, caller.
Do you believe that everybody should have received a false name in their lifetime?
I find so.
Because they have a gentleman on the program. I ain't hear nobody mention Lasha Fall. Lasha Certain Fall. But I'll leave it ready from Yvonne Grill. Have a good night.
All right, thank you.
Lasha Fall.
I mean, there's some nicknames there. When you hear them, you just have to wonder. I mean, how? Because some of them we spoke about a number of ways that people can actually get their false name. But there are some false name again you just can't figure out how the men.
Mind you, Livingston made a good point earlier when he spoke up, and he just made it by the side. A lot of the false names, they originate from school.
Yes.
And it's true. I teach for a number of years, and believe me, school children are the most creative when it comes to false names. You know, I never. Sometimes you just wonder, and you hear they call him, even a child, some other student, some name, and you just have to laugh, you know, because the name fit them. You know?
No, definitely.
Because a random name, you know, name suit you.
Yeah. And let me tell you, in cases like that, these children, they grow up and you don't know their real name, you know?
No.
But I remember playing cricket with a guy, we used to call him Panka. And one day, apparently, he did some official business, and people kicked, and nobody really knew who they were asking for.
But I don't show no Panka name up to this day.
Right now, I know his surname is Williams. I cannot remember his first name.
I know Panka name.
Panka, I don't know his name.
That is always the most Panka.
And next person that comes to mind is one we call Old Age.
Yeah, boy.
Old Age, and everybody know Old Age. But what is Old Age correct name? Well, I know Old Age correct name now. But it's like, if you come and you give people his correct name, people finding it hard to find out.
You know what you're talking about?
Yeah, but it's Old Age. Yeah.
But I believe that in this kind of time, they should make it easy. You don't have to go through all this kind of old people affidavits.
Just add that on your butt paper.
Doc, I want to ask you a question. What's Zab's real name?
I really don't know what Zab's real name.
But there we go. Oh, little boy. I never know. I know his name. Never.
They must make it.
I never know what was happening.
The names to thing, but you have to go to all kind of place and affidavits
and do all that
kind of thing. Because by really and truly, some names false and become people names.
No, definitely.
You know, one of the things why I believe it is really a black thing. We had a Pisco that came here, right? He was living here with me. And when we I introduced her to my friends, and I said, this is like Old Age. She said, is this his real name? I said, yeah, that is his name, Old Age. And she found it quite difficult to be calling him
that
Old Age. And he's there, and he said, yeah, my name is Old Age. But she don't want to accept that, you know, what is your correct name? So I think there's a difference in the culture, in that we would readily say, well, that person is so-and-so, that person is Apai, this person is Nomtoya, etc. But
what's Nomtoya name? What's Nomtoya real name? Let me tell you, all I know, I just know this man has cousin Nomtoya. That is all, nothing else. And after 6 months done beats.
Yes,
he that coined that phrase, after 6 months done beats.
Yeah, well, I don't know his correct name.
What's Joker name?
Yes, we have Joker and we have Hiluz.
Yeah.
Saville.
Then you have remember Makai? Makai used to live close to Joker.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we never know these people's names. That's how you know them, Joker and Makai and no. You know the name.
And let me tell you, you have some false name what is not specific to communities.
Yeah.
Yeah, just as you are John all about, we had Makai in Shantimere.
Yeah, all about Makai.
Yeah. Not make it wrong, right?
No, serious.
So by what we actually call it false name, and that is my thing for the night, you know. I don't care what you say, you know. What we call it false name, supposed to be man good name.
Well, if that is how people
false name, where we get that name from?
Because some false name actually do suit some people, right? I mean, I know you have some people that it is very insulting to call him in a particular name. There is one that have me little baffled. Like Scholar, you would know, is a guy that sing too. We call him Mess. But on my own, I deliberately decided I would not call him like that. But he answered the name.
Yeah, but I believe he probably. So I ain't even sure some of them men forget them do because some people know them.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mean.
Right.
What is he calling him again? Oh gosh.
I don't see.
Something high. Not
just something.
Jahites.
No, not Jahites. Not Jahites.
Glory.
Glory. Yeah.
Glory.
Yeah. No. So I mean, look, there are people. I tell you, I could think of a number of individuals, and all I know them by is this false name that you call them in the community. They live, they die, and you never know what their real name was.
And he has some false name that's something as good name. Eh?
Yes.
Because I surprised Denzel, for example. Denzel Paul Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Denzel name, you know.
Yeah.
Denzel is something like a good thing. But
although he
So Denzel not here.
Denzel not in it.
Why they call him Denzel? That's a middle name.
But Paul Thomas is a stupid name. I mean, what Paul,
no, you gonna say it bad name? Like two sorry.
Paul Thomas.
No, well, your fellas are two sorry, man. You mean there are two first name, you know?
Yes.
Yes.
Look at Jericho. That was not his name.
No, but I think most people know his name, man. And the Greenwich,
right, he was a popular.
Yeah. People knew him. But you have fellas, definitely, you know. Let's go back to the telephone, guys, because time flying. We Culture, good evening. Hello.
Good evening, Goddfrey.
Good evening.
How are you?
Very good.
Very good. Yeah. In the 18th century, I can remember a man used to live in Tungsten around the Darbo area. But I already recall him this name Jarbon. But I find how they could call this man Jarbon, already good Jarbon, because it's more really twisted, you know. I find a big man, I can't call this man so I used to try to avoid calling him. But I used to buy a lot of my tickets. So one day in Freeman shop above the market, Freeman was there, his brother Joseph was there and others. So I asked Freeman, what's this man's real name? He said, Stan, but I never want people call his name, and I said, I can't call him by his ugly name, Jarbon. So he said, girlfriend, I want some tickets today. And the price, I said, I don't know what the price for that. So there's some. Just your name. So I tell him, he said, oh.
All right, thank you very much, caller.
I tell him, when I tell him, call him Jarbon, the man fling back a ticket for me. And you hear that man customer was same, eh? His name is not Alter, his name is Jarbon. So Superman is brother to cool him down, and Maki had to come and sit and talk to him and get him to get answers. Until he get quiet and he get to know me. The man used to be my father, was a mother. And we were related, you know. He beg my pardon. And from that time, I call nobody by nickname, home name. Yeah?
All right, thank you very much, caller. Thanks a lot indeed. Someone says, as children, we were very respectful and unknowingly put handle to what turned out to be people's nickname. Well, I think we mentioned that earlier. So Miss Manita was really Man-Eater. And Mr. Kobisi was Komsi.
Yeah,
children used to they used to put Mr. and thing when you as a mark of respect.
But children, they have a way of sometimes deliberately teasing, but sometimes the innocence come into play, and the innocence get them into trouble. Because I remember, and we were talking about that a couple nights ago here in Tivoli, and we remember the bull. There was this man we used to call the bull. Now, and then you see the bull. His big stone, and stuff for you.
The bull used to walk around with a bag of stone in the back.
Adults calling him the bull used to pass on to be respectable. They would say, "Good morning, Mr. Bull, Mr. the Bull." And then in that time, they realize, I guess what happened. But children in the innocence, Kane False name would put a title and they say, "Good morning, Mr. Jill again." But Jill again is his false name. And he didn't want people call him so. Some people call him so. So I'm just saying that sometimes children with the innocence, sometimes just stretch the whole thing.
Sure. No, definitely. Someone
I remember
someone asked, Ollie, why is Kiata a real name?
Hey, yes.
Why is Kiata
yellow?
Katai with a yellow tone green?
Yeah.
Katai? Well, yellow man, so I guess no, he's green man.
Yeah. All you know, someone asked, all you know who is Stink Boots? Stink Boots.
Pink? No. Now look at you.
Me, I don't know my boots, man. I'm gay, man. That's how respect this. Anyway, let's see if we can get. Wait, let's take. Yeah, you want to say?
You don't I don't find a long time ago thing. A long time ago read nothing I thought.
Yeah, I'll take that last call and then we would go to the comments.
You read something?
Yeah. We Culture, good evening.
Yeah, God, good night.
Good night.
Yeah, guy they call Akobat. I used to do secret. But yeah, timing Granada. I go down to work. I meet a man and they come. So I say, good morning, Mr. Akobat. How are you see me wood up in my back? But I stood and hit me. I said, wait, no, sir. Don't call me, Akobat. So I said, well, no. I didn't know your name, sir.
Alright. Thank you. Alright, Reece, so let's get some Facebook comments and see what we have there.
Alright, so we have Bronco John is saying in Bel Air School we had a boy, his name was Capoship AA. Then we have Mike is saying a prime example is Malcolm X of people with false names. Bronco, and the girl, she had a funny face. We call her Mother Cow in Bel Air School. We have Patricia saying, when I was younger, there was this girl that used to dress up to the 101, especially when the man of war reached on the wharf. They used to call her Pretty Pig. Ingrid Bourne, white people like to shorten your name. If you're Christine, they will say Chris, or Joseph, they will say Joe. But they don't, they shorten names, or they don't give false names. Patricia Wilson saying Pretty Pig was by no means pretty. Emma just wants us to know she's enjoying the show. Ashley comments, a coconut fell on a man's head in Paraclete. From that day till he died, he was called Coconut Head. Ricky saying it had two old Garyites in Guam. And by the way, happy birthday, Ricky. They were politicians. One false name was Chukase, that's Hubbard Prudhomme. And the other was Google Lame, that's Johnny Branch. I don't know, scholar, okay. Right. Ricky saying we had a hop and drop woman in Guelph called You Bitch. She was Reece's neighbor. Ricky, anyway, anybody that was my neighbor was your neighbor, eh? Right. Jennifer is saying yes, with children calling others names, it can put adults in an awkward position because the child will be crying and in your mind, the names seem to be suitable. And as an adult, you must keep a serious face not to offend the one being teased. In your mind, you'll find the children thoughtful to come up with a name. I agree. We have Emma saying, Pala, the snow cone man.
Pala, yeah.
Old Road was an Indian man from Conference, used to make some good roti. Ashley saying, who Sass was called Ram Goat? Who in Sass was called Ram Goat? And Cynthia is saying, tonight was very entertaining. Thanks always. Stay safe. And let me see on the YouTube channel, we have one. My father called my sister, that's from Cammy George. My father called my sister Cookie all his life. One day he had to collect a package for her on the airport and he told them he collected a package for Cookie. So I guess there goes that. Yeah.
Oh boy.
And we have this was not a false name, just a thing. Malcolm X was not his false name.
Just before we had was someone on WhatsApp saying there's a man we used to call Daddy a Brick. That was in school days, I guess TBC school days. He was bad for that name on Cemetery Hill. It was the grave. Anyone that went to TBC would know that name. So yeah.
Oi, I tell you, fellas. Somebody say, why are we calling the lady in Grenville plyboard? I don't know. I don't know who is that, but somebody call her plyboard. Plywood. Oh boy. Fellas, we out of time, you know. Just
one flat thing. Plywood is one flat thing.
Yeah. Very flat.
Envelope.
No pumps, there's no dents. It's just flat.
Oh boy.
I think Scott is very guilty of naming or describing or calling a lot of giving people false name in his calypso. No?
I was creating them.
When scholars sing about More Belly Than Bam Bam and those kind of songs, the description that he give, I think he's guilty as charged.
Someone says, I have a daughter whose name is Tesfa Esha, but I call her Akiwawa. She had to travel and her grandmother sent the ticket on Aki, so we had to include it on her passport, which she carries up to today.
Wow. That's somebody from Shandy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Tesfa Peterson. I only knew she was Tesfa when she started school, but we all knew her as Akiwawa.
And that's a false name.
Yes, my neighbor.
That's a false name, according to what they said here.
Why, I never knew that was a false name. I thought that was she name.
Well, it wasn't it's a call her that she got, but that's a thing that
in school, I realized she's Tesfa, but we never call her Tesfa Akiwawa.
False name. It's amazing that this thing can just stick and just remain with you forever.
Yep.
Forever. Fellas, I wish we could go on because this thing is cracking me up so much, but that's the only time we have. So we have to wrap right now. We're talking, and you wouldn't believe the amount of false names of people that just rolling through my head here. I just had to keep laughing. So anyway, fellas, let's wrap up. Reece, with your nice hairstyle and all that money. But Reece, let me ask you a question before you go on.
Give me what is mine, please.
Yeah, how much?
Away in our it's a season.
How much money Doc give to put on that good theater?
What are you that for business for?
But I'm talking to Reece. I'm talking to Reece.
I don't want no union. I don't want no liar. I ask you for help.
I'm talking to Reece. That you are talking to.
I feel that whole thing here causing him to have pressure. Somebody may be fine.
Pressure.
You're delivering.
Pressure.
Yes.
What pressure?
So you want ideas. You want ideas of how much money
you want that
must have.
You want that
Don't worry about that.
You want that to call it ideas?
If you can't make the grade, you just can't make the grade. That is all. Just say money, that's what I have.
But you can't believe that.
Alright. Doc. Alright. So I'll call Doc make the grade.
So Goddfrey,
make the grade. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, make the grade.
Right, but it's fast and it just interrupt. That will go away.
Scar, you actually ruling? Yeah, she didn't know what she had talked for.
You.
Scar, you actually ruling him?
What me? You can't come on it. Don't try.
Doc.
So, as I was saying,
But I don't get my fish and jacks regular, me don't complain about nothing.
Exactly. Don't worry about the winks.
Anyway, go ahead.
So, you find that a lot of the false names, it speaks the character of people. The character, their background, their employment, mistakes they would have made in life, things they would have worn, all these things. I know a guy in Guam that we call cock shit. No, cock shit is somebody like you can't have a foul around. You can't have a foul, you know? And then there's one, Selwyn Mitchell. I'm sure a lot of you probably know of him. He used to write articles in the newspaper. And growing up, we always learn a self-help. Like you're going in self-help. That would have been what we call a mini-mart now, but a supermarket then, right? We go in and buy self-help and buy things. Only to find out the man name is Selwyn, but it's self-help. It was a watered-down name that he got from having one of those mini-marts very early where you could help yourself. That is what was explained to me. So self-help became self-help. And now you're going to self-help shop, you know? So a lot of these nicknames come about because of certain scenarios and, you know, what would have transpired, where you live, where you're from, things you do, mistakes you made, and all of that. And I agree with everyone. Everyone should have a nickname. And I think some of us, we just need to accept our nickname, put a little humor in the thing, and move on. Don't stay there and dwell on this thing, because the more you dwell on it, the more it will remain with you. If you want somebody to forget something, just accept it. Make it natural, you know, and move along. The Baku I didn't like, but I don't bother. There are hardly people who call me Baku now. They run to that family thing, and every now and then I was getting Miss Nice and Miss Sister Nice, you know, but other than that is Say and Reece and, you know, and things like that. So you just accept the thing. Just accept it.
Scholar, let me ask you a question. You know, a fella they call Blue Dog in Chantimel?
Yeah.
Blue Dog, Doggy. Well, we know Mr. Dog.
Yeah, Blue Dog. Yeah, Mr. Dog. Yeah, Mango Dog.
Mango Dog. Yeah. You know Pumfish?
Pumfish? No, I don't know Pumfish. I know Pumle. Pumle was an athlete too.
Well, you hear that fella called Pumfish?
No, I know. As a matter of fact, there was one time in Chantimel in football, our Chantimel goalkeepers was a head, you know. Now that mistake for Chantimel was that, so you had saddle head, you had mackerel head, you had pin head. You must have some kind of head to save, you know.
Oh boy. Like I said, we can go on. Doc, let's make you close the remarks.
When you look at false name, when I look at, you realize that our basically the names that were given to us at birth had no meaning. Livingston, Goddfrey, Findlay, Reece. Mm-hmm. It is hard to put some character to it, some meaning to it. So I think deep down with our Afrocentricity, we look for something to describe you as a person, not just tall, dark guy, or handsome, or intelligent, but we look for something in it, in us, a deeper meaning, to put something into you, to describe you, something that would attach, that would say, well, that is the person that I am talking about. And I believe that a lot of the false name came across someone character, or some drastic major event, or something about that, whereby they now have something to pin you to that describe you. That in a sense is more than just a name without meaning. On the other side, we have some names that is about teasing, about humiliation. And I believe we could do away with some of the names that really tend to dehumanize others. But the false name that just describe you, I believe, is a really good thing. And as I wish that one day we could have just a scholar, and I would have Reece says, I really believe it would have been good for us to just embrace it. And our system could have just add it to our passport or our birth paper, to describe who we are, because eventually that is how people know us as. So I think in this program, what we see is this name thing, this naming is something that is ingrained in our culture, and we just bring it out one way or the other from since childhood. So for those names that are given to me, I embrace it, and usually all those names have a story. That's the way you get that name, that describe you in most time a positive way.
Yeah, indeed. Scholar, before you make your comment, something just crossed my mind. There are some false names that we give to people, but the people don't know that they have a false name. But that false name is within a certain circle. So you're calling somebody a name, but you can't let them know. Because, for example, there's a very good friend of ours. He's passed, and we used to call him Charlie Brown. And he never knew that we used to call him Charlie Brown. But if we're speaking about him, we refer to him as Charlie Brown. I don't. His family and all don't even know that we just call him Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
So that's another. Is another.
Let me give a man on the scene right now when we say wood for wood.
Yeah, but he know that they call him. But that's another angle. You refer to people in a certain way, but they don't know, and it's just within certain circles. So, Skulls, you're closing.
Well, boy, as I said on the program while we were going, this thing is so intricate, and the way that we come up with this thing is so creative, really, that it's really a wonder. And I agree with Doc that we look for these names because really
We do apologize for that. We had a premature end to the program there. And again, I said we do apologize for that. But of course, we thank you. We thank you very much for staying with us. We really do appreciate you. All your comments, all the little humor here and there. We really do appreciate it. And of course, you can join us next Friday for another edition of We Culture. Yes, of course, we come to you every Friday evening with different subject matters. I think we were able to get the guys back. Guys, are you there?
Yeah.
Right.
We don't have parade in we head, man.
Yeah. Somewhere we got a little premature end there, but
Goddfrey, are we live?
Yes, actually, yes. We are. We still are.
30 seconds. Close it.
Yeah, Skulls, you had your 30 seconds, so we just take it and then we'll just wrap.
No, well, I was just saying some of the names that we have. I mean, the names that we call people in Christianity. If you think about them and you roll them over in your head, you're having a good laugh, I mean, things like Wendy. I mean, Jennifer, Goddfrey.
I mean, no, my name is a nice name.
But your name not a nice name. Your name is stupidness.
No, man. My name is a nice name.
My name is stupidness, and they don't mean nothing, and so on. So
my name have meaning.
Your name have no meaning.
Yes, my name have meaning.
What your name mean?
My name means God's peace.
Godfrey's God's peace?
Yeah.
I thought you said Godfrey.
What's your name? What's Godfrey name to have meaning? I just try to call him Godfrey, no?
No. Asking Godfrey. P-S-E-O-P-I-S-S.
What is this man by?
Anyway, good night.
Anyway, folks, we thank you very much indeed, and of course we're looking forward to being back with you next Friday evening. It was indeed a pleasure. Thank you guys, thank you everyone. Until then, enjoy the weekend, and we'll be back with you next Friday for another We Culture. All the best. Good night.
Well,
A little more calypso, forget the funk and the disco. A little more limbo, a little more shango. Find the greasy pole, and we don't dance round the